Welcome to Show and Tell. In this series, I review brand new games quickly and with as much detail as possible. Ready? Go.
Hi there. I need to say something before this review. Are you interested in Expand? Have you already looked at the Steam page and thought, that seems really cool and something I'd be interested in? If so, here's my recommendation. You stop watching this review, you buy Expand and play it. It'll take you an hour and a half to 2 hours, and if you like, come back to hear my opinion on the game. Note that this is my recommendation and not a guarantee that you will like the game, but I feel that if you are probably going to play this game anyway, that you shouldn't watch this review before you've played it. I do think that this review will, in whatever small way, take away from your experience of the game. I'll say now that I think this game is incredible, but if you don't trust me, maybe try and look up some other reviews and try to only look at the score. If you still aren't comfortable with that, then yeah, watch the rest of this review, but don't say I didn't warn you. Expand has a relatively unique and mind-boggling gimmick, that is, the whole game takes place in this weird, infinite circle that you can't escape from. As I began playing, I felt like it was going to be this relaxing experience. I felt myself getting into the game, but it was really mellow for the first 5 to 10 minutes. The game then opens up into, hilariously, a kind of open world. It's really odd. You'll find that this infinite hellscape really messes with your head, or at least it did for me. So the game is pretty much split into 4 sections, each with their own theme and mechanics. The game does a really good job of toying with your perception of the world, and at times, it completely subverts your concept of how the world works. So the gameplay is fun, it's always switching up, and it's satisfying to see the level building and folding in on itself as you play. The other thing is, the game is really difficult. I feel like if you struggle with patterns or making your brain click in a certain way, like that video of the spinning ballerina that changes direction depending on how you look at it, if you have trouble switching between the 2 directions of the ballerina like I do, then this game is going to be hard. I found the most difficult thing was wrapping my head around the patterns, and really the answer was to just look at things from another perspective. So that's great. You can't really get that in any other game, which is cool, but there's something else that this game does, and this is the section of the review that I feel might ruin your experience of the game, so just be warned about that. The game has a surprisingly good story. Now that sounds insane because there are no characters in this game, or well, technically there is, but there's no people, no dialogue. It's simply abstract shapes moving around the screen. But it does have a story. It's an incredibly simple one, and I won't tell you what it is, but it isn't the story itself that is done so well, it's the execution. At the end of this game, I got goosebumps. I was emotionally moved by weird shapes moving around, topped off with some awesome music. And it wasn't just because of the music that I got goosebumps, it was because I realized what the story of the game actually was. It's really, really cool. The first thing that comes to mind is Thomas Was Alone, but that had dialogue. This game has literally nothing but music and shapes. It's honestly like nothing else I've ever experienced, and I know that anyone who plays it after hearing me say this is not going to enjoy it as much as they would. People should go into this game with no knowledge of any kind of story. So, do I recommend Expand? Is that even a question? For $6, I absolutely do, and I feel like this review has taught me something. I'm gonna release a follow-up video to this review asking you guys a question about review scores and what you want from these reviews. Thank you so much for watching. If you think this was a good review, then leave a like because that makes this video easier to find. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike guilt-free and try and leave me feedback in the comments explaining why you didn't like it so I can improve for next time. See ya!